The mystery of Mama Ijeoma's locked room. In the lively neighborhood of IJEOMA, Lagos, where loud music poured from speakers and women sold akara at sunrise, there stood a crumbling two-story building tucked between a tailor's shop and a small Pentecostal church. On the top floor lived an old woman everyone called Mama Ijeoma. She had lived there for over 40 years. People respected her, feared her, and gossiped about her in the same breath. She had worked as a school teacher in her younger years and was known for her intelligence and discipline. But what puzzled everyone was that for all those decades, one room in her flat had remained locked, the room at the end of the hallway. Tenants came and went, each one whispering stories about it. She hides gold in there, some said. No, she lost a child, and that room reminds her of it, others claimed. A few even believed she was a retired ritualist keeping secrets from her past. The truth? No one knew. Until the morning of her 80th birthday. Mama Ijeoma, normally quiet and reserved, decided to invite a few longtime neighbors and her former student, now a local journalist named Tiga, to her home for a small celebration. As the guests laughed over jollof rice and soft drinks, Mama Ijeoma stood up slowly, her hands trembling slightly. She tapped her glass with a spoon. I know all of you have wondered what's behind that door, she said with a smile. Today, you will see it. The room fell silent. Some people exchanged glances. Tiga, ever curious, instinctively reached for his phone, thinking this might be the story of his career. Mama Ijeoma took a deep breath, walked down the narrow hallway, and pulled a small iron key from the folds of her wrapper. The door creaked as it opened. The guests stepped inside and froze. There were no skeletons, no treasure chests, no signs of tragedy. Just a small, meticulously organized room with old furniture, dozens of handwritten journals stacked neatly on shelves, and a dusty typewriter in the corner. At the center of the room was a large corkboard filled with newspaper clippings, maps, photographs, and red strings connecting people, dates, and events, like something out of a crime thriller. What is this? Tiga asked, stunned. Mama Ijeoma turned to him with a smile. This is the story of Lagos. My story. Your story. She had spent decades tracking corruption, disappearances, stolen lands, political betrayals, all from this room. It was her private archive. Her life's work. In her youth, she had secretly worked as a community informant and whistleblower, gathering evidence and feeding it to journalists and activists across Nigeria, anonymously. That room was the nerve center of her quiet rebellion. I knew if I was ever caught, it would be the end of me. So I locked this room. And I made people fear it. That was my protection. Tiga looked around in awe. This wasn't a mystery born of darkness, it was one born of courage. For years, the room had held the truth. And the day she opened it, Mama Ijeoma passed on something more valuable than any inheritance, a legacy. Sometimes the loudest rebels never raise their voices. They write.